I don't know who needs to hear this, but it's not okay to accept yourself as you are if who you are right now is less than the best version of yourself. Self-love is giving and wanting the best for yourself. And that includes being your best and performing at your best. And anything less than that is not worthy of you. And there's this trend that's going on in this world. It's this trend of mediocrity. It's this trend of lulling yourself to sleep with this BS self-love movement that means accepting less than what you're worth, but yet having the audacity to want to demand more than what you're worth from other people, more than what you've given yourself. And that is delusion. Okay? Yes, we should be compassionate with ourselves. Yes, we should be patient with ourselves. But yet, that compassion and patience does not include your accepting less than what you're worth, because that becomes a habit. It becomes a lifestyle. And it leads to people believing that they can skate by with less than what they're worth, but yet having the audacity once again to demand more from other people. If you love yourself, prove it. You know, I've been talking about this all year. I've been talking about this the entire time I've been on social media. All right? And this idea of people being mediocre, this idea of people being so soft, everything, it's okay, it's not okay. That is why this world is in the position it is today. And I look at all these therapists out here, right? First of all, if your therapist has a therapist, your therapist ain't much of a therapist. That's like taking directions from someone that's lost. Okay? Yeah, I said it. Main vetting point, if your therapist has a therapist, your therapist is lost. They should not be giving you directions. All right? Period. No, everybody does not need a therapist. People need guidance. And you cannot get guidance from someone who is lost. Okay? This whole idea, oh, accept yourself as you are and it's okay. It is not okay. You know why it's not okay? Because you already know it's not okay. You know you're worthy of more. You know you're capable of more. You know you are more. And yet you want me and yourself, first of all. You're trying to sell yourself that even though you're more, even though you're capable of more, even though you could be doing more, it's okay to do less. Why? Is that love? You got a child. You got a better meal that you could offer your child, even just by trying a little harder. But you refuse to try a little harder to get what's better for your child. So you give your child what's left in the garbage. And you say, it's okay, I love you though. Does that work? Is that how that works? So then why is it that you're allowing yourself to give yourself the scraps of life because you refuse to live up to what's capable? Someone says raise the bar. That's not even raising the bar. That's just meeting the line. Okay? That is just meeting your line. You already know that you're performing less than. You already know that you're capable of doing more. But you're choosing to do less and then trying to convince yourself that it is okay. Why do you think you're depressed? You're depressed because you know there is better for you. You know you're capable of better. You know you deserve better. Yet you're giving yourself less and trying to convince yourself that it is okay. That's why you're depressed. That's why you're anxious. You're anxious about the future. You know why? Because you know you're doing nothing to change it. And you know exactly what's waiting for you. Nothing. You want to be more hopeful about the future? You want to be more bright about the future? Start working towards it. Start putting something into today. Stop accepting less from yourself. Stop trying to repackage hot garbage and sell it to yourself as something glorious. Now, don't get me wrong, we all have different capabilities, all right? And so this is not about you satisfying anyone else. This is about you satisfying you. It is not okay to accept yourself as you are if who you are right now is less than your best. It's okay to acknowledge that where you are right now is as a result of choices in the past. It's okay to say, you know what? I did this. It's okay to own it. It's okay to say, all right, it's okay. I'm here now. But at the same breath, it is necessary that you say, I will not remain here though. It's okay to make that choice to say, you know what, from the day on, I will no longer make the choices that has wound me up here and that has kept me here. That's what's okay. Not to keep doing the same garbage that keeps you exactly where you are, where you're unhappy. Who wants to accept that it's okay to be unhappy? And we're just going to repackage this and pretend as if we're happy. Pretend as if it's okay. The reason why you're making this negotiation anyway is because you're not happy. It is not okay. I've said this so many times, and I'm going to say it again. Your soul cannot, will not, has never been able to, will never be able to accept your compromise, knowing what your soul truly wants, knowing what your soul knows it truly deserves, knowing what your soul knows you're truly capable of. That is why 95% of people walking around in the United States right now are depressed. Number one, we sell ourselves on grandeur. Okay? Take true inventory of yourself. Don't walk around, I'm a queen, I'm a goddess. You're not. But take true inventory of yourself, because I guarantee you are more than what you're living up to. What is that more? Because your soul already knows it. It just needs for you to be cognizant and conscious to recognize that you're not living at your best right now. Then the next thing is, what can you do on a daily basis to live up to your best self? Physically, spiritually, mentally. Those three things matter. Are you mentally feeding and growing yourself? Are you physically performing and doing the best you can for yourself physically? And are you spiritually there? Because if you're not doing all three of those things, because a lot of people are heavy on 1 and 2, or heavy on 1 and then neglect the other 2. You have to be firing on all cylinders to be your best. I always say most people never peak. Because a lot of people get there, they're spiritually there, but they let the physical go. They let the psychological go. They're not firing all cylinder, and that is not okay. If you want to get the best out of yourself, you have to be the best in all three categories. You can't just walk around and call yourself a queen and a goddess. Everybody's not a queen. That's the whole essence of the word queen. All right? Everybody can't be one. Some people walk around here chambermaids. You're not a queen just because you clean you are. You have to have queen behavior, queen mindset, queen mentality. You can't just call yourself something. A lot of people walking around here jokers. And in our world where we can claim anything we want, you know, they say, you claim it, you gotta act like it. You gotta carry that mentally, psychologically, spiritually. And you have to put it in your deeds. It is not okay. That is the source of most people's discontent, most people's unhappiness. Sorry. And anybody that tells you it is okay, it's not okay. Listen, we won't always get what we want out of life. But if you're putting in the effort, all right, then yes, you will be satisfied. You will be content that you did everything you could. But if you're not doing that, what exactly are you doing? And then once again, don't try to sell yourself when you're adjusted best. That's another thing, okay? Your adjusted best. You know what your adjusted best is? A lot of people know that they're capable of this. But you know what? But you know what? I'll settle for this. That's good. And after a while, guess what? It becomes now your adjusted best. That's the best I can do. Is it really? Is it really? Did you really try to do more? Did you exhaust all avenues, all your efforts, all your resources to do more? Or did you settle for that because you know what? You knew you could get that. Guess what that is? Rebranded mediocre. And the world is full of mediocre people. Mediocre people trying to claim queen, king, goddess, boss. It's annoying. It's unsettling. And it's less than you. And it's not okay. And yes, actions always mean more. But you know what even speaks louder than actions? Patterns. What's your pattern? How many times have you done this seesaw ride? You know, we talked about the New Year's resolutions. We laugh about them all the time. Honestly, how many of you set New Year's resolutions in January, knowing good and well you were going to do the same shit you do every year? You knew it. You knew it because that's what you've done for the last 5 to 10 years. And then you sit there and be like, it's okay. A lot of you sabotage yourselves. Why? Because you knew going in that you weren't going to put forth the effort. And the sad thing is you got enough people hanging around you every single day. I always call those people the people in your corner, but not in your circle, but not in your corner, right? It's okay. You tried. Did you really? Because if you didn't, then it's not okay. You know it. You ain't got nothing to prove to me. You're the one who's unhappy. You're unhappy because you know what you didn't do. You're unhappy because you know what you're not doing. You're unhappy because you know what you're capable of and what you're giving forth, what you're putting forth, what you're offering yourself. You're demanding stuff from people, knowing good and well that you could be better, and then when you were better, you wouldn't have to demand. It would just be a matter of what it is. But that's why you got to demand so much, because you know you're not actually performing at your best. I don't have to demand anything from anyone. You see what I put forth. So you know what not to come to me with. Nothing half-baked. Nothing second-hand. It is not okay. In 4 days, is it 4 days now or 3? We reached the official halfway part of the year. You know, and I talk to people about this all the time. Are you where you wanted to be? Are you where you said you would be January 1st? I don't believe in these halfway points. I believe once you make a decision, you make a decision. Doesn't matter whether it's January 1st or June. What is it, 27, 20? I don't know what the date is now. Things flow together for me. But whatever the date is, it doesn't matter. You can make the decision today. You can make the decision to start acting on your best behalf, on your best self, moving towards that. And the moment you start to do that, you start to feel better about you. Okay? The moment you start to do that, you feel better about you. You don't need people to come around and pat you on the back. Sometimes, yeah, we need people to pick us up. Because you know what? The road to your best is never perfect. You will falter, you will slip. But then you should get up and double your efforts. Fortify your resolve. And understand that the only person you cheat is you. You cheat yourself out of the best life that you could give yourself. You cheat yourself out of the best capacity that you can attain for yourself. You cheat yourself out of the best life that you could be having. And then in essence, you cheat everyone around you out of the best version of you. You deserve better. And we deserve better from you. So do better. Start the day. All right? Something to think about. And I meant that. If your therapist got a therapist, your therapist shouldn't be your therapist. Let them get their stuff straight first. You can't take directions from people who are lost. You can't be saved from drowning by people who are drowning. That's just common sense. And I'm sad that some people have to hear it that way, but it's true. You can't take directions from people who are lost. You don't know where you're going. How you gonna tell me where I'm going? You ain't got it figured out. You don't have a clear, concise mythology. How you gonna give me one? Why am I talking to you? How can you give me guidance? Exactly. Blind leading the blind. Jacked up leading the jacked up. Hurt advising the hurt. Scarred and broken advising the scarred and broken. Passing on traits and habits and mentality of brokenness. Come on now. I don't need to be a rocket scientist to figure that out. And neither do you. You sit there and you talk about your problems to somebody that got more problems than you. Sit back and look at your therapist's life. You want your therapist's life? Then why are you taking advice from her? Come on now. The truth is, a lot of your answers that you seek, you already have them. You just don't want to accept them. But when you sit down in a quiet place, we figure it out. Oh, hold on one second, guys. T Evolve in Tennessee. I remember the other day you had said it was your birthday, and I'm so sorry I didn't get a chance to say happy birthday back. Happy birthday, my man. Everybody say happy birthday to my man T Evolve in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Murfreesboro, Tennessee. I saw it and then, sidetrack. Anyway, there we go. So happy birthday, or happy belated birthday at this point. I believe it was Friday, right? I believe it was Friday, if my memory serves me correctly. All right, anyway. But anyway, guys, just my little thought for the day, man. Yeah. And T Evolve, what's your actual name? Because that's all I would call you by is T Evolve. I remember Murfreesboro, Tennessee, but I don't think you ever told me your actual name. 21 again, right? I'm trying to wait until he sees it. Someone says, am I going to Essence next week? You mean this week? Yes, I will be at Essence Festival. This week I'll be in New Orleans on Friday. Someone said, just in time, sir, I'm having a bad day. There are no bad days. There's just bad perspective. The moment you change your perspective, you realize that every day is a good day. Every day is a great day. We have tons of opportunities to have good days. And don't get me wrong, you know what? Some days are going to be better than others, right? But every day is a good day. It's a good day to gain better perspective on life. And sometimes we need rain to appreciate sun. We need less than good to appreciate the good. You can't appreciate the light without the dark. And some days are appreciation days. Some days we can deepen our appreciation for the things we have. All right? Some days we can deepen our gratitude. Some days are sent to make you appreciate yesterday. So I think some of my worst days in life, right, helped me to appreciate and recognize some of the better days. And so when those better days came around, and even better days came around, I remember, and I can have a good contrast. So there's no bad days. Just some days are better. That's all. That's all it is. About perspective, right?